Welcome to the Growth Blueprint podcast. We hear a lot about empowerment, but what is empowerment in the real meaning? Let's hear from the empowerment coach itself. Today's guest is very special. He is a successful entrepreneur who has made a significant impact in everyone's journey. Let's welcome Abhinav Jindal. Abhinav, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tina, for having me here. I'm so grateful to be here today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. Thank you.
That's great. So, Abhinav, let us know more about yourself. What is your personal journey? What do you do, and how does this empowerment coaching lead you towards?
I think I want to start with the word empowerment because there's so much noise out there about empowerment and what really empowerment means. I think let's begin there and I can then talk about my personal journey and
Of
how
course.
I get to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
Empowerment is the ability to consciously choose what you want to do, who you want to be, and what you want to have, and consciously create and bring that vision, that idea into reality. In the simplest meaning, that's what empowerment is.
Okay. That's a bigger word altogether.
Yes.
So, when you say about unconscious mind, how does that impact your conscious mind, or how does it impact in your real life?
So, neuroscience has proven that the unconscious mind runs 95% plus of our life.
Okay.
So, how it impacts the conscious mind is like the unconscious mind is the supercomputer, and the conscious mind is you, let's say, your keyboard or your mouse.
Okay.
Through your conscious, we feed and we experience, and the unconscious mind is really what is creating your life experience for you.
Okay.
Let me ask a simple question. Do you choose to get upset? Nobody does.
Right.
Nobody looks at the watch and says, "Oh, it's time to get angry. I'm gonna lash out on everybody."
Right.
Nobody does that. But yet everybody gets angry, experiences sadness, experiences happy, and we all experience these different emotions at different point in time.
Okay.
It's all different. So
Right.
there's a program in our unconscious brain that is telling each individual when to get angry, when to get sad, when to get happy. And these are just on an emotional level. But in creating your entire life experience, both inside and outside of you, the unconscious mind is the motherboard, is the program to our life, whatever label or terminology one might put on that.
Right.
The unconscious mind is the key to you experiencing your life.
Well, that's very intense, actually.
Thank you.
So, unconscious mind, I want to touch base again, that segment. It definitely has a lot of impact in your day to day life, day to day activity, right? And you said it is 95% impact in your mindset. Am I correct?
In our life
In
experience,
your
so
life experience.
95% of your life you're experiencing unconsciously and you're creating unconsciously. In fact, can I go? So there's this book. I'm forgetting the name of the author. The book's name is The Flow,
Okay.
in which, in terms of information being processed, it is scientifically proven that our conscious mind takes in 126 bits of information every second,
Okay.
while our unconscious mind is taking in 2 million bits of information
Oh,
every
wow.
second. Like, there's a vast difference.
Right.
Our 126 is what creates our life experience. What you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're hearing is all a combination of those 126 bits. That is why most people uh, don't feel the clothes on their body. But as I just said it, you might have started feeling some parts of your clothes that are touching your body because you just put your awareness in that.
Right.
You're wearing an earring, I noticed, and you might not even be feeling that it's on the ear. Yet when you take that awareness there, you can feel how it touches on your skin.
Right.
And that's the 126 bits.
Okay.
The unconscious mind takes in 2 million bits, which is our entire life experience.
Okay.
So our unconscious mind is not just experiencing what we experience consciously, but it is experiencing life to its fullest extent. And then using that information, it stores that information, it processes that information, it creates beliefs, it creates our emotions, it stores our emotion, and it creates our life experience based on those beliefs, emotions, and values, which is the programming on an unconscious level.
Wow, that's so intense, so deep. When we talk about that, how do you control your unconscious mind? Like, how do you get powerful to train your unconscious mind to act in certain way? Is it part of the empowerment? Is it part of the individual journey on the empowerment side? How does that impact? Like, how does it align the gap?
It's 100% aligned, because until you reprogram the code of your brain, you can't be truly empowered.
Right.
We all are limited by our limiting beliefs, by our negative emotions that are stored on an unconscious level. And until you change that code in the brain, you can't truly be empowered, because you don't even know what choices you can make because of the beliefs that are avoiding you to make those decisions.
Right.
Let me simplify that.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, our unconscious mind holds the program which is creating our life experience. The program consists of beliefs, both empowering and
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs. It of negative emotions. It
Right.
consists of values and so many other things.
Right.
Everyone talks about beliefs. Everyone talks about limiting beliefs. And I think most try who are on this journey of manifestation are aware that they have those beliefs and are trying to change those beliefs.
Right. Yeah.
When I first came across these concepts, I came across weird ways
Mm-hmm.
to change this. One very renowned coach told me that wear a band, and every time you think something negative, pull that band so it gives you a little bit of pain,
Right.
and you associate your brain to not thinking that. And that's conditioning. Another person said me that when you think of a limiting belief, take your finger, shove it up your nose, and say it's bullshit, so that you
Oh
stop
wow.
thinking. And believe me, that doesn't work.
I can
That
imagine because these are all like some sort of action to control that, but you should
Exactly.
actually have so much empowered inside you that you don't even need to take those kind of
Yes.
action.
So with the knowledge and skills that I have accumulated, and it's not I didn't invent those skills or knowledge. I just learned them from people who already knew that.
Right.
I can help, and I guide my clients to let go of a limiting belief in as little as about 5 minutes
Right.
on a permanent level.
Right.
And that what true empowerment is.
Right.
When I now come across a limiting belief, I don't think, oh, I have another limitation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is so cool,
Right.
because I now become aware of a belief that's no longer serving me, that has not been serving me, and I know how to let it go. Most people don't know how to let it go.
Right.
And when you let it go, that's true empowerment, because that is when you are 100% in control of your life experience, of your choices, of your beliefs, and your internal programming.
Right.
I love this quote by Carl Jung, who says, until you make the unconscious conscious,
Hmm.
it will drive your life and you will call it fate.
Interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
And what that means is that our unconscious mind is creating our life experience. And until we make that unconscious process conscious,
Yeah.
it will drive our life and we call it fate. And
Right.
that's why people are like, oh, this is not meant for me. My fate is not meant to do this. And I'm supposed to be stuck in whatever situation I
Right.
am. Most people make it a reality to be within the boundaries of their problem. So for them, their life is within that problem.
Right. Yeah.
And true empowerment really is first looking outside of it and saying, if other person can do it, if they don't have that problem, then
Yeah.
I can get rid of it as well.
Right.
And then we bring in these cool tools and techniques that I know, where we use these techniques to then help those people resolve those internal programming which are causing those problems in their life. And once a person can do that, that is what true empowerment is. Can I share a cool story?
Of course, absolutely would love to hear that.
So I was working with this woman. She's an amazing person. I've known her for, I don't know, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
And she came to me in the almost in the end of March,
Okay.
and she's like, she was interested in working with me. She's like, Abhinav, I'm tired of life.
Right.
I have a son. I think he's about a year and a half old,
Wow.
and I've got my work.
Mhm.
I want to achieve my dreams. So she's working second job and she's doing some freelance work. And she came to me and she was like, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of life.
Mm.
I'm like, okay. I hear her out. I hear her problems, and we start working.
Right.
When I start working, we start with a breakthrough session, which is a really empowering 10-hour session broken down into 2 days, where we literally reprogram the code of the brain, where we let go of negative emotions for my client, and I guide them to release limiting beliefs and resolve a lot of other programming that is causing a lot of problems and conflict in their
Right.
life. So we finished the breakthrough session on Saturday,
Okay.
and I reconnect with her on Monday, and I'm like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
She's like, I've been really cool. I have a few things to share with you. I'm like, please tell me. She's like, so Saturday we finished at 3. She's like, I had guests coming over. I'm like, yeah, I know that. And she's like, generally when I'm cooking and I have guests coming over, I'm in my zone and my husband is making these jokes and I really get irritated when he makes those jokes. And she's like, for the first time in my life, I played along with him.
Amazing. Wow.
And I didn't get irritated. I played along with it. I'm like, that's beautiful. She's like, wait, I got more. I'm like, yeah, please tell me.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm really excited to take more in my job. I actually volunteered for a new responsibility.
Oh, amazing.
And this is this person who 2 days ago said to me, I can't take it anymore.
Right.
I'm tired of life. And she's like, I volunteered for a responsibility. I'm like, cool. She's like, it wasn't just any responsibility. I volunteered to manage and audit the P&L of my company. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
She's like, you don't get it. She's like, Abhinav, I've been scared of numbers. I've been scared of numbers to a point where when I was young and me and my sister would go out shopping and our dad would give us money, I would give all the money to her and just tell her, tell me when to stop shopping.
Oh, really?
That's how
Wow.
scared I was of numbers. And now I'm actually excited to manage the P&L of my company. I'm like, awesome. She's like, I'm not done yet. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. She's like, one of the things she wanted to work on was she's like, I love the job I'm in,
Mhm.
but I don't think I can get more. I can get more pay. I can increase my payment or salary in this job.
Right.
So I want to consider different opportunities, but I really love this job.
Okay.
And on Monday, she's like, I asked for a raise.
Okay.
And by the way, she confirmed later she got a decent raise.
Amazing.
So all she was able to make all these changes in a span of 2 days because she was able to let go of her negative emotions and limiting beliefs, which were sabotaging her growth, which
Right.
were keeping her from being deserving of a higher payroll, which were keeping her scared of numbers and
Right.
all that programming that was there for since she was a little child. We were able to let it go in just 2 days,
Amazing.
and I love this work because I get able to because I'm get to work with all these amazing individuals
Right.
and guide them to create this change, which makes me so much happy.
You're basically making a difference in somebody's life,
I am, yeah.
right? You're basically helping individual to reach their goal, whichever way it is. And at the same time, you're guiding individual how to fight their own fear and come out of that nervousness or negativity that they have around them
Yeah.
and come out of that box
Yeah.
and look at the life in a different direction, basically.
It is. And it's just a little different because I'm never teaching anyone how to fight a fear. I make fear disappear.
Right.
And there's a
Good.
difference. Most people are trying to fight fear, but the fear is
Mhm.
there. I make fear disappear, so the fear is no longer
So
there.
that's again a mindset. That's the
It's a programming.
programming. Okay.
And I'm saying it's not a mindset and it's a programming
Right.
because that programming shapes your mindset.
Okay.
Another client of mine, and I've experienced this in my life personally on my journey towards empowerment, where when you release what's holding you back,
Mm-hmm.
certain negative thoughts disappear. They stop coming.
Right.
So in my life, I've experienced a lot of negative thoughts as I know every individual has. And if somebody listening out there thinks they haven't, then please look in the mirror and stop lying to yourself.
Right.
Because everyone has negative thoughts at some point in life.
Of course.
And when I do release work, it's not like I have to then fight with those thoughts. It's like those thoughts are no longer there because they're no longer there.
Right.
And so the mindset is not shit. I don't tell people to change their mindset. I
Right.
resolve the underlying problem, the programming that is causing a certain mindset in the conscious brain.
Wow. That's so deep, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when we talk about mindset again and manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Manifestation is so much out there for
Yeah.
talk. People do talk, like everyone, even in the business industry or employment side or even kids, everyone talk about manifestation, right? You should think positive. You should manifest what you want,
Yeah.
and one day you will get there, right?
Yes.
But I personally feel like whatever you manifest and wherever you are, the life
Yes.
is a journey till you
Yes.
get there,
Mm.
right? There are different pages of the book you have to flip till you get to your goal that you have manifested,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, there's so much power out there in your mental psychology that you can train your brain to help you out, or align yourself in such a direction that you can probably reach your goal sooner than later, right? So what is your belief in manifestation, and how do you say, like, there's so much talk out there, how do you say this is the correct way of looking at it, or is there any correct direction even on manifestation?
100% there is. And I love manifestation.
Yeah.
I've been on my personal manifestation journey for 7 years. 7 in a few months.
Right.
7 years in a few months now. I love manifestation. The reason that manifestation does not work is because your internal programming is not aligned with what you want.
You don't believe at the same time, is that what you mean?
Let me explain. Um, do you believe in manifestation?
I do.
Have you tried to manifest things?
I would say now that I know the word since a long time, people talk about manifestations. I know that is what it is, but I have seen from very younger age certain things that I do believe, or I visualize it does happen one way or the other. And at the same time, with my experience, I would say I do manifest, or I did manifest in the past, and then you even forget about it.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, you're like, oh,
I know, right?
right?
Such a powerful
That's
feeling.
the powerful thing, right? And so though I definitely do believe in manifestation.
Perfect. The reason I asked you the question and you said certain times when I manifest, it happens.
Yeah.
And that happened with me for about 3 years,
Right.
where I'm manifesting all these things,
Yeah.
and certain things are getting manifested while others are not.
Right.
And I'm like, there's got to be something that I'm missing that I don't know
Right.
because it's working certain ways. You want to know what that is?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what happens is when your internal programming, the inner voice in your head, is matching with what you want consciously, you manifest.
Right.
The conscious mind is the goal setter.
Right.
The unconscious mind is the goal getter.
Okay.
How many times has it happened that you set a certain goal,
Right.
you start working in that direction, and then something happens, could be internal, could be external, and then you stop working in that direction because you get interrupted, the universe comes in the way, whatever people might call it.
Right. Yeah.
It's happened with me so many times. And when that happens, is why that happens is because the unconscious mind is the goal getter.
Right.
So consciously we say, I want to go from point A to point B.
Right.
And I start working in that direction.
Right.
And at some point, my unconscious mind says, you don't deserve it.
Mm.
You're not worthy.
Right.
Or I have a certain belief which is in contrary to what I want.
That's where universe plays a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this inner voice in me is saying, no, you can't get there because of multiple reasons.
Right.
And so then there is a pattern interrupt, the behavior changes, and you're no longer working towards your goal.
Right.
That's why most New Year resolutions fail.
Mm.
Actually, I believe it's January 8 or 9, which is now officially called the fail day.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. It's a
Right.
real thing.
Okay.
Because that's when most New Year's resolution have failed.
Yes, I believe that actually, because if you don't take action by then,
Yeah.
it's not
And
going to happen.
and gym memberships have their
Highest-
highest in January. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in real estate. You know that. So
Yeah.
and because people January comes and all of a sudden everyone gets this motivation that
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this new year the best year ever, but 8 days later maximum of the people drop off because their unconscious programming is not aligned with what they consciously want.
Right.
And manifestation will work when you align that programming, that inner belief, that inner knowing, that emotion with what you want. Once you do that, manifestation will work 100% of the time.
Mm. So when you talk about this now, let me ask a question about destiny or universe.
Mhm.
Because again, when you manifest something and you are on your way there, and then for any reason, if things doesn't work and you put it in a way it wasn't meant to be,
Yeah.
or maybe universe has a better plan for you, right?
Okay.
That's something people put it as an excuse.
Yes,
And
they
it
do.
might be true too,
100%.
right? It might be true because you feel, oh, grass is green on the other side until you go on the other side,
Yes.
right? So is it true to even believe or say that when you manifest super hard, you're actually um, not working on the destiny side of it, or you're not letting your destiny, which might have a better plan for you, not letting it happen?
I love what you said. And that's such a powerful question. There are four bodies. Every human is made of four bodies.
Mm-hmm.
There's spiritual, there's mental,
Yeah.
there's emotional, there's physical.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one answer to what you just asked because there's multiple reasons why that could be happening.
Mm-hmm.
I want to explain it by explaining the four bodies.
Right.
The spiritual body is our connection to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's that gut feeling.
Right.
Have you ever entered some place or just meet a person and your entire body knows it's wrong?
Oh, many times.
Many times. That's your spiritual body telling you something is wrong.
Right.
Then there's our mental body, which is our logic, which is our conscious thoughts. Then there's an emotional body, how you feel about a certain goal, how you feel about a certain thing that you're creating or going towards. And then is your physical body, which has an a very which has an equal importance in getting out there and getting it, maybe a little importance, but sometimes our physical body speaks through our spiritual and mental and emotional bodies when people get physically ill or something while going towards a goal. It could be a sign from their spiritual body that no, you're going in the wrong direction. How this plays out with destiny is because yes, sometimes your unconscious mind, your higher self, your spiritual self knows better than your conscious mind.
Right.
And then they're taking you in a certain direction which you may not be consciously aware of.
Right.
At that point, what a person needs to do is see what their spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical body are telling.
Aligned
And if they're
together.
not aligned or not.
Right.
So when you're walking on the path of which is aligned with who you are, these four bodies will support you.
Right. Okay.
When you're doing something where these four bodies, and it's a trickle down effect. So it's first spiritual, then mental, then emotional, and then physical. And a part of or any of these bodies are resisting, then you got to first understand it. What's the resistance? If for me, my entire life is run on my intuition. And at certain places I'll go and my intuition will say not the right thing. no matter how much logical sense it's going to make, I'm not going to do that
Right.
because I know my higher intelligence is guiding me towards doing something else.
That's so powerful, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Can I share a cool story about
Sure.
destiny?
Yeah.
So 2 days ago, I'm scrolling. I just opened Facebook,
Right.
and I'm done with Facebook, but I just open it because sometimes there's a group that's something in there.
Right.
So I'll open it for a few seconds, and when you open it, it'll show you your memories,
Right. Yes.
and it
Yeah. I
shows me
love
them.
that.
I love that as well,
Yeah.
right? That's a cool
That's
thing.
the cool thing about
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I look at this memory 8 years ago,
Yeah.
and I'm back in India at that time in my resort. And the picture is of me giving a presentation. And there's about 8 people, which is my father and his group of friends,
Oh,
sitting there.
right.
That was the first time I ever taught to somebody.
Oh, wow.
At that point, I was in India, I was running a resort. And if somebody would have told me you're going to become a coach, I would have laughed at them.
Right. Yeah.
And I was far away from self-development at that point. Like, I didn't know what manifestation meant at that
Mm.
point. I knew I loved teaching.
Mm.
I didn't think that was going to be my profession ever.
Right.
I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. I love hospitality. I am going to
You're
make
good
more.
where you are.
I'm
That's it.
good where I
Yeah.
am. And now I love what I'm doing so much
Right.
that I wouldn't do anything else if not for this.
Right.
And so when you say yes, sometimes your destiny is taking you towards
Right.
a
That's a good
direction
example.
which you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That is what happened with me.
Right.
And when you can't logically comprehend and what's going, that's when you need to look inside your gut
Right.
and trust your gut,
Right.
because your gut will tell you where you need to go and what not to do.
Right. Yeah.
And so building that intuition is critical.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the second leg of this question that you asked was obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people will just come across an obstacle and they'll be like, yeah, it's not meant for me.
Give up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live and I teach this mindset that there's no failure, only feedback.
Right. Yes, absolutely. You learn.
And so you
Yeah.
got to look at everything that's not working out. What's the feedback?
Yeah.
Not
So
look at, oh,
important.
it's not meant for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's and you said it correctly. You said that's an excuse.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It is an excuse for, I don't know, being lazy, or it's an excuse for, or it's a signal that your unconscious programming is not aligned with your conscious wants. In which case, then you got to realign those programming with the wants.
Right. It has so much to do with being comfortable as well in
It
your
is.
own skin, basically. Or you're so comfortable that you come up with an excuse for taking any sort of action that you may have to take
Yeah.
to reach wherever you want to reach.
Yes.
Right. So how do you say with your training,
Yes.
how does that impact with the action?
I love that question.
Because many people
Yeah.
they think, like you said, you have a goal every year, January
Yes.
1st,
Yes.
but there is no action taken in
Yeah.
place
One.
to reach that goal. And you cannot, yeah, there are certain miracles that do happen in life that, yeah, you get something that you want, but otherwise, there are certain sort of action you have to take in
Yes.
place.
100%.
And that could be, one of them could be being uncomfortable, and which is very much important to be comfortable, to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Take life as it comes and then process it accordingly. That's one way of looking at it. But how do you say, how in general people take this kind of action, or is it one of the reason why people are not able to manifest or reach their goal where they want to be?
It is one of the reasons they're not able to manifest. And if somebody is taking inconsistent action or
Yeah.
not taking any action at all, it's simply because their unconscious programming is not aligned with their conscious wants.
Right.
So the first key is to letting go of that programming, letting go of that limiting belief, letting go of that negative emotion, whatever is holding them back.
Right.
So when I start working with my clients, the first thing we do is we do a breakthrough session. And the reason we do it is because they can be free of that baggage that is holding them back. They can be free of that sabotaging belief that is holding them back.
Right.
If somebody is facing resistance, taking action.
Mm-hmm.
And resistance is, when you're getting excuses in your head,
Yeah.
you're being too lazy,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the time, you're too busy with other things,
Mm-hmm.
you have to push yourself, and a zillion other excuses or real problems, by the way, which exist in your mind that are stopping you from taking action. If any, there's a reason that you are not taking action is because there's a limiting belief or an internal programming that is causing that behavior.
Right. Yeah.
Once you take that limiting belief or that programming out, taking action will become effortless.
Right. You don't feel like you are taking any action.
Yeah, because
It's
it
just
flow
there.
then.
Yeah, it
It'll flow.
flows.
It'll flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm sure there'll be an area in your life where you're naturally taking action, and there'll be somewhere where, no matter what you do, you are facing some kind of resistance.
Right.
And so, in the area that you're able to take action, your internal programming is aligned with your belief.
Right.
In the area where you're not taking action is because the programming in that area is not aligned with that goal that you have in mind.
Right.
So when I start work with my clients, I first release the baggage, and then I help them identify who they are.
Right. Yeah.
I help them identify who they are, what they want to do, and what they want to have. And when we do that, it it's there for a reason because it helps people align their spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical body.
Right.
So then they're taking action and deciding what to do. It's already aligned with who they are at the deepest level.
Right.
And then I help them and I coach them in taking action.
Yeah.
And when they do face resistance, which they do, we then look at the strategy. And I'm not telling my clients you need to push harder. I never do that.
Right.
I have a huge amount of respect for all the people who do that. And I think they have a very small success ratio because no matter how hard you push someone to take action, if the internal programming is there,
Yeah.
they're not going to take
Yeah.
action.
It's not aligning.
Yeah, they'll move this much and they'll get back. They'll
Yeah.
move this much and they'll get back,
Right.
So it's not going to align. So you got to look at what's the resistance and remove the resistance. When the resistance is gone, the action will become effortless.
Right. It's like what you said recently. It's like no matter how much you motivate somebody, you cannot get there until unless you motivate yourself from your internal
Yeah.
conscious mind. Otherwise, everything is like, useless basically
Yeah.
in one word. I mean, that's not the right word, but again. So let me ask a little bit, like we spoke a lot about empowerment and the work journey that you have or work you provide out there. What is Abhinav? Like, why did you choose this route? I mean, if you want to share, if you don't
No,
want
oh
to,
no, I love to share this.
like,
I don't think
what
there
was
is
the
a
ignite? Let me
I,
ask you that.
I
What was the ignite?
I don't think there was a simple answer to who is Abhinav.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just a human who's creating an outstanding life for myself and inspiring other people to do the same. That's the shortest way I can describe who
Right.
I am. What led me into this work is my journey in this work started 7 years ago,
Okay.
where on 3rd Feb 2019, I attended my first course in Delhi, India, that said how to manifest your life.
Okay.
And I attended that course without knowing what the word manifestation
Oh,
means.
wow. Yeah.
And as I was in that course learning all these amazing things about affirmations, positive thinking, it was the first time that I became aware that I actually have the power to achieve everything in my life.
Right. So that was the time.
That was the time because I've always been ambitious,
Right.
but I believed at one point that I can't do what I want to do in life because I'm not skilled enough, and there were all these limiting beliefs in place, which I don't even remember what they were at this point in life. And that day, something sparked in me, and I'm like, I'm gonna commit to changing my life. And it's been what, 7 years and 3 months or 4 months and a few days, and I've been committed to changing my own life.
Mm.
That's what started got me into this work. I became a self-development junkie. I started going to all these courses, all these self-development events, just learning and figuring out what life is. How do I get what I want? How do I become who I want to become? How do I tap into this limitless potential that at some level I knew I had, but it was so far away at that point from me that I wouldn't even see the possibility. And as I started learning about all these cool ideas and I started transforming my life, I'm like, wow, life can be so much amazing than what I thought it could be. And the more work I did, the happier I got, the more I achieved my goals. I became more calm, more peaceful. I started manifesting more stuff. And then in 2022, I worked with a personal coach
Okay.
who really helped me or guided me to change my programming on an unconscious level.
Okay.
That was the biggest shift in my life in such a small span of time.
Right.
It completely changed my life and took me to another level because everything that I was trying to manifest, everything that I was trying to become, everything that I wanted to experience, I started experiencing in a matter of days.
Right.
And that's when my company grew to the next level. I manifested my dream partner, and I had such a high expectation of the person I want in my life. And I got all that and more. And I'm
Amazing.
like, this shit really works.
Right.
And in that frame of time somewhere, I always wanted to. I'd been learning about manifestation, about coaching for 3 years. So somewhere I'm like, one day I want to do this.
Right.
But at that point, I was like, I don't know, man. Who am I to do this? I had all these self doubt about me becoming a coach. And when I did all this work, it unleashed that power within me that said, you know what, I can do this.
Right.
And I started observing more things. And I'm like, this is not just me.
Mm.
I'm like, so many other people are on the same path that I was on.
Right.
Or somewhere along that path from starting from not being aware to what manifestation is to trying to manifest.
Right.
And I'm like, if I can live like this, if I can be this person, why can't other people be this version of themselves that they want to be?
Right. Yeah.
And as I researched about this, I found out that A, people don't think this is possible.
Right.
People don't think that we can create our life consciously.
Mm-hmm.
B, people who are trying to manifest, who are trying to create their life consciously, don't know how.
Right.
And so I'm like, I want to do this.
Hmm.
And I had done enough work on myself at that point that said in me that I'm ready to do this now. Not
Right.
5 years, not 10 years. I'm ready to do it now.
Right.
And I decided to become a coach.
Amazing.
And as I decided, I love how life manifests because when I decided to become a coach, I had no knowledge about stuff that I know now about these trainings, techniques, and skills that I have now.
Right.
I was a person who had just transformed my own life.
Right.
But it's so powerful when you are doing something that's aligned with you
Mm-hmm.
and you commit on that path.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when the universe creates the path ahead of you. And I just trust my intuition and I just keep walking one step after the other. And life keeps unfolding itself
Mm-hmm.
in a much more profound and more beautiful way than I can ever imagine.
Right.
And I just know that I'm doing the right thing and I keep following that path.
Basically, you created a structure for yourself,
I did, yeah.
right?
We can say that, yeah.
Right. And that's working out in such a way that you did manage to make a change in your life
Yes.
and the similar way everybody else's
Yeah.
life, right? And that's why I did address what is Abhinav instead of who is Abhinav, because I believe that you are kind of brand. Nobody knows. I mean, I don't know what is your brand name, like side air, right?
Yeah.
But I talk about you only because you created your brand,
Yes.
right? And that's very powerful. And in business world, people do struggle a lot to create
Yes.
their own brand.
Yeah.
Obviously, in your personal life, you have different goals and different, you know, different kind of things that you want to achieve. But when we talk about business world, people work significantly hard to make their own brand.
Yeah.
What I believe being an entrepreneur, that you yourself is a brand. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what kind of name you're associated with.
100%. Yes.
People connect with you, especially when you're in a service industry. And so you are too, right? What was the one impact, or I would say, what was the one habit, day to day life? Because there is so much to do in what you do every single day,
Yes.
how you start your day,
Yes.
then you reach your goal, right?
Yes.
It's like every single day is a different day.
Yeah.
And you should focus to be a better version of yourself
Yes.
every single day, right? So, what was the one thing that you think you have made change in your habit, maybe 7 years ago, what you were doing, which you're not doing it now?
Yeah.
And what probably overall entrepreneurs are doing, which they shouldn't be doing or shouldn't think in certain way? Like, is there anything that you would like to highlight on? Or maybe more than one thing, if you have those tips.
I mean, I can go on for days on this, but uh, so one thing I adopted in my life
Yeah.
is meditation. I mean,
Right.
there's so many. I've adopted so many new habits. Like I can't keep account of it.
Right.
One thing though is meditation. I believe it's the foundation of life.
Yeah.
And the day I attended my first course is the day I committed that I'm going to meditate every day.
Right.
And it's been 7 years plus few months plus few days that I've been meditating um, every single day.
Yeah.
What I would say people should avoid doing, or that was your question, what is one thing people should avoid doing is, I wouldn't say what they should avoid doing as much as I want to say what they should
Should
be.
be doing. Yeah. Okay.
And I think what people should be doing is looking outside the box and not just a strategic point of view,
Right.
but from a mental and emotional point of view.
Right.
Because as entrepreneurs, and I work with entrepreneurs, I'm an entrepreneur myself, I love the business industry.
Yeah.
And this stands for any human who's living and breathing, by the way.
Yeah.
But more specifically for entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs are, they have this thing where they're like, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna find a way.
Hmm.
And I find that most entrepreneurs are finding a way or a different way in the business realm.
Hmm.
I think the box they need to look out of is apart from business,
Hmm.
and bring that focus on themselves,
Right.
on their emotions, on their mental
Right.
beliefs, on their mental and spiritual bodies.
Right.
That's such a cool and such a powerful thing, because just the awareness of your emotions can start you on a journey to true empowerment. It happened with me. When I started learning about these things, I used to listen, and I still listen sometimes, to Abraham Hicks.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've listened to her. She's such a powerful speaker. I love what she says.
Right.
She's the author of the book Law of Attraction,
Yeah.
and she speaks a lot on law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember what the exact words were in the talk she was, but that gave me a thought, and I asked myself, what do I feel when at work?
Hmm.
And I started observing my emotions on my day to day work life.
Right.
And I was quite shocked to find out that most of the time that I'm working, I'm either stressed, frustrated, irritated, in tension, or any of those emotions, rather than being happy or excited.
Yeah.
And an average human being works 8 hours, which is about 30% of their adult life, they're devoting to work.
Right.
For entrepreneurs, I'm sure it's going to be 40, 50, or
Oh,
even
yeah.
higher, because even when they're not working,
The mind is.
the mind is.
Yeah.
And so technically they're working much more than just 30, 40%, which
Yeah.
comprises a major portion of their life.
Yeah.
And if that part of their life is being they're experiencing that part of the life in frustration, irritation, or stress, then they're really going to think of what their quality of life is.
Right. Yeah.
And Tony Robbins says this: the quality of your life equals to the quality of your emotions.
Right.
And that struck with me. So, one thing I think people should do is be more aware of what their emotions are and know that the quality of their emotions are the quality of their life.
Right.
Because just that emotional awareness is going to get entrepreneurs to think in a different way.
Right.
And once you sort your emotions out,
Mm.
once you start living in different emotional states, more positive emotional states, that's what you start manifesting more into your life.
Right.
So, law of attraction not only works on what you think, it actually works on what you feel.
Right.
So, you attract more of what you feel.
Right.
So even if you're working towards a really amazing goal and you're like, I'm powerful, I can do this, and you're feeling sad inside, you're going to attract more of sadness.
Right.
Even if it means you achieving that goal, with that goal is going to come more sadness.
Right.
So emotions play such a important role in our life, and what people should do is be more emotionally aware and look at business not just from a strategic point, but from an emotional point.
Right.
Because the energy they get in the business is what the business will give back to them.
Big to them, yeah, to their life
So
as
the
well.
emotions they're going in their business, or the emotions they're experiencing when they're working,
Mhm.
when they're in their business, is what the businesses grow more of.
Right.
So everyone is focused on numbers, on tangible goals. What about your emotional goals?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's a very good tip, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Anything specific that you would like to talk to our viewers or give any tips to our viewers today?
Just this one line. You all are limitless. You are limitless. All you gotta do is awaken what's possible.
Right. Being fearless, basically.
Whatever that might mean for
Right.
someone.
Right.
It means somebody wants to be fearless. It could mean being fearless for them.
Right.
I think everybody has the capability to do whatever it is that they want to do.
Right.
All they gotta do is unlock their true potential. All they gotta do is awaken what's possible.
Right.
And whatever it might mean to them.
Right. Basically, program yourself in such a way
Yes.
that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. It was such a wonderful talking with you. And I'm sure our viewers got a lot of tips today, a lot of insight on how to be powerful or control your conscious or unconscious mind, and then probably be more powerful in manifestation too.
Yeah. It was a lovely talk. Thank you for sharing this stage, or this beautiful studio in me, and giving me the opportunity to come here and share my views. Thank you so much.
No problem. It's our pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate that.